Guys, my name is Dennis Lee. I'm doing this video for my web design class. My instructor is Faisal Klein. Basically, I'm going to be talking about creating scripts and how to use scripts. This is basically a really intro. Just going to create a PowerShell file and a batch file. Basically, what I'm going to do is it's just going to copy over specific folders based off of what the user puts in for the path. Alright, so let's get started. First off, I'm just going to briefly demonstrate how to create a batch file and a PowerShell file. So what you want to do is you want to open a text document. I'm just going to do that by right clicking. Go ahead and click new. I'm going to click text document. You can basically name this anything. Just name it LOL. And you want to go ahead and open up the file. And then in order for you to save it as a batch file or a PowerShell file, you have to actually save this document as a different type. So we're going to go File, Save As. Let's go ahead and call this Power. You want to add a PS1 extension. This is going to change it to a PowerShell file. And also you want this Save As type selected as all files. So we'll go ahead and click Save. As you can see, it was just created here just now. Go ahead and click and drag that. The icon changed as well. This is set to run in a PowerShell. Let's do the same thing. Let's create a batch file too. So go File, Save As. Let's go ahead and call this Batch. And then you want to have a BAT extension. This will change it into a batch file. And you will want to save the type as alt files. And go ahead and click OK. Let's go back and look at the top right corner. As you can see, the icons are different. This one will run in the command prompt. This one will run in the PowerShell. So let's go ahead and just close this. First off, we're going to use the PowerShell. So let's go ahead and edit this. I'm going to be using Notepad++. Alright, so one of the first commands you might want to do is basically the write host command, which is write and hyphen host. They are case sensitive, so you want to make sure you have the correct one. So basically what write host is anything that I write within this quotation mark on this line. It's going to show up in the it's going to come up with this text. So let's just say this works. And let's close it off with parentheses. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and scoot this to the side. Do a run with PowerShell. It comes up and it closes. It's set to do that. So let's go ahead and set a command that prompts us to exit where it doesn't close by itself. So let's go ahead and do a read host. We want space, and we want a hyphen, and then we want it to prompt. So let's do prompt, quotation marks. We want this to be shown, so let's say press enter to exit. Quotation marks. Let's go ahead and save it. So now let's run it. It should prompt us to exit if you wanted to. As you can see the message. It says this works, and press enter to exit. It's a little bit blurry, but here it is. Now we want to create two variables. One is taking the path or the location of where the folder is from the user, and one is to take in the destination of where the user wants the folder copied to. So let's go ahead and do a $sign. I'm just going to call it loca, short for location. We want to put in an equal sign, and then we want the command read host, because basically what this command does is it's going to take the input from the user, and then we want to do quotation marks. This is basically just going to write out or plain text come out for the user to answer. So basically a question. Let's just say, where's the location? Where's the location? Then let's go ahead and call the variable. This way we can make sure that this variable is actually taken in the path. Let's go ahead and make a destination. So let's go call it des for short. And we want to do a read host because we want the destination taken from the user. So let's just say, where is it going? Quotation marks. Same thing. Let's go ahead and call a variable here. This way we'll make sure that it's actually taken in that path. We're going to go ahead and run the PowerShell after we saved it, just to make sure it's working. So right click, run with PowerShell. It's going to ask for a location. So let's just put in, let's just say, my downloads. So go ahead and copy and paste this path. Set it to location. Alright, and then it asks me for where it's going. So let's just say desktop. Or, I gotta go over here. Desktop. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this. Alright. So we compare this command side by side. You can see it asks us a question, and then when we call the variable again, the variable showed up as the path, because that way we know that the variable is taken in the path that the user puts in. So next, what we got to do is we just want to write a command that will copy that specific location and paste it to that destination. Oh, that we go back to the file. Let's go ahead and write the copy command. The copy command is actually copy-item. So spelled that wrong, but let's correct that. Item, as you can see here. And then we want to do a -path. We're going to tell it specifically what the path is. Since we defined the path given by the user in this variable called loca, let's go ahead and call loca down here. And then want to do a hyphen. We want to pick the destination of where it's going. And let's go ahead and call the destination variable that we assigned the destination to. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and space, and then we want to put the command recurse. This is basically going to copy the folder and any subfolders. So let's do -force as well too. So let's go ahead. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the command verbals. Basically, this is just going to show us what is going to be copying over. So let's go ahead and write that in. Let's go ahead and save the file. I'm just going to create 2 folders. I'm just going to call one, let's see, destination, or let's just say test1. That's what we want to copy over. And then let's go ahead and create another folder called test2. So basically in test1, I'm going to create some items in there. Then test2 is going to be our location folder that we want it to be copied to. So let's go ahead and do test2. Let's go ahead and move this up here. Let's go into test1. Alright, let's open up. Let's go ahead and just create a new folder. Let's go ahead and create a new text document. So at least we know there's something in this folder. So let's go ahead and close that. Now let's go into our PowerShell file here. Let's go ahead and run it. So let's say I want this location. So let's go ahead and copy this location. This is the location of the file we want to copy it over. Click enter. We want it to go to this specific folder. So let's go ahead and copy this. Copy this. Go ahead and exit off. Let's go ahead and click enter. As you can see, these yellow texts are telling us what happened. As you can see, verbals, basically it's copying that over. Looks like it's completed, so let's go ahead and click OK. Now let's go up here and look into test2 folder. There it is. Let's copy it over, test1. As you can see, the subfolder was copied over here as well. We're going to go ahead and work on the batch file. Same thing, let's right click on this. I'm going to edit in Notepad++. Basically, the commands are pretty simple. If you write an echo command, that's just going to write out a line, just say this works. Let's go ahead and save that. And now let's go ahead and open this batch file. It should automatically open up in the command prompt. Same thing with PowerShell, it automatically closes, so let's go ahead and add a command that stops it from closing. So the command is going to be called pause. So let's go ahead and run it. As you can see, came up here, and we have the line that this works. So basically, when it first comes up, it's gonna prompt where the destination of this file is. So let's go ahead and do this. We want to do a command called echo off. So basically, this should blank it out. Let's go ahead and run it, save it, close this, and run the batch file. As you can see, that path is then removed, and you only see the line that says this works. So now we're going to go ahead and create two variables, basically the same thing as in the PowerShell. We're going to set a variable to the location where the folder is, and we're going to set a location to where the folder needs to be copied to. So we want to do a set /p. Let's just name it loca for short. We're going to do equal sign. It's sensitive, so there has to be no space. Where is the folder? This basically is going to come out as a text, and it's going to set what the user puts in for the path. So it's going to set the variable location to this path. So go and do another set p. Let's just call this just for short. Equal sign. Where is it going? Question mark. And then we want to do the same thing. We want to go ahead and print the variable or call the variable. This way we can make sure that the variable is actually taken in the path. You have to do an echo. This will basically print it out the line, and then we want to call the variable. And then in order to call the variable, you have to put the %, and then the name of the variable. So loca automatically populated. As you can see, it's in orange now. Let's go ahead and do the same thing down here for the destination %, des. %. Let's go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and run the PowerShell. I mean, not the PowerShell, but the batch file. Alright, where's the folder? Let's go ahead and select this folder, test1. Let's go ahead and copy and paste that path. Let's see if it prints out the path. If it prints it out, the variable took in the path. So it looks like it took in the path. And then let's go ahead and do a destination test2. Copy, paste. So it looks like it took in the path. Those variables are taking it. So next thing we want to do is then we just want to write the copy command. Since we got the commands working for the variables to take in the path, let's go ahead and run the copy command, which is xcopy. Alright. And then next we're going to need the location of where it is, and you need double quotes. Since we defined the variable loca to take in the path of what the user puts in, we're going to go ahead and call that variable here loca %, and next we want to do a space, and then we want the destination, so we want this in quotation marks as well too. So the destination is going to take the variable des, pre-filled it. So go ahead, we want to do a space, and we want to do a \E. Basically, E is telling us, or telling the xcopy to remove, to copy any specific folder within that folder, even if it's empty. Go ahead and save that. We're going to go ahead and run the batch shell file now. Alright, we're going to be using test1 and test2 again. As you can see, test1 has a folder and a Word document. Test2 should be empty. So let's go ahead and copy this test1. So this is basically the location of the folder we want copied. Click paste, and we want it copied to test2. So we want to copy this. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go ahead and paste it in here. Looks like it said one file it's copied. So let's see test1. Now let's take a look at test2. And as you can see, it got copied over to test2. So we know that's working. Since we got both of the files working, I'm just going to open these up side by side so we can compare the two. Even though they're running with different programs, they're still script. Their scripting language is different from one another. As you can see, this is a PowerShell one, this is a batch shell one. Even though they're different, they're basically doing the same thing. I had a variable taking a path. One for the destination, one where the location is, and I had a copy command put in. So basically they're both doing the same thing. As you can see, commands are really different. Even though it's scripting, it's different based off of what type of file it is.